Right, Paul. We've just obviously spoken to Mark Cooper with the rest of the media. What did you make of today's press conference?
Very measured. I think focused on the game because it's a very important one, not just because of the team they're facing, because it's 3 defeats in the last 4. It's Forest Green as 7th. I wouldn't say clinging on to the playoffs because they've had a great season, but it's so tight in there, so they need to get something. So Mark was very focused on the game, I thought, playing down any rivalries with Danny Cowley, but I think we were sort of expecting that.
Yeah, we talk about playing down the rivalries. Both managers are doing that. They've both done that today. But I think deep down, really, if we're truthful, there is a bit of niggle between them.
Oh yeah, it's been like that since the National League days, hasn't it, really? They're similar journeys, similar paths, One came up from the National League in 2017, stayed in the league last year. I know Lincoln got into the playoffs, and Lincoln have pushed on again. Forest Green have pushed on. They both want to play League One football next season.
Is there anything wrong with having a bit of niggle, a bit of rivalry? I mean, some of the great managers from the Premier League have shared a sort of mutual dislike of each other.
Well, one thing I will say, Mark said that, I don't know why there's a rivalry. It's 163 miles. It's purely, challenging each other from the National League days. Manchester United and Arsenal back in the 90s, massive rivalry. Arsenal, Wenger, Sir Alex, mind games. So these rivalries develop. I mean, look at Liverpool and Manchester City. I don't know, a bit closer, but they're developing into a rivalry all of a sudden. So that's just football. When you're competing at the top of leagues, it's massive for your fans, for the players. You all want success. So if there's a club standing in your way, things are going to happen. And it's great entertainment. It was a really entertaining game in November, wasn't it? We were both there. Yeah. Forest Green played some great football in the first half, but Lincoln, once they got their nose in front again, they just held out really well, and it was frustrating. I'm sure it'll be on the back of everyone's minds here. Yeah,
I mean, I go back to the rivalry. I mean, it just adds a bit of spice to this encounter, doesn't it? When we were at Sincilbank earlier in the season, one of the things we were doing was Cooper and Cowley watch, where we were seeing, are they going to make a handshake before the game? Is there going to be one after? I thought personally Danny Cowley was quite clever. He waited till the players had come out, did his usual in the centre circle, and then in front of a packed Sincilbank, trotted over to Mark Cooper, put his hand out. Whether or not it was sincere or was he being clever?
Well, we were sort of on tenterhooks because there was a minute silence that day, I think, as well, for Armistice Day. So once that had happened, I think Danny, like you said, went to clap the fans. It looked like Mark was just waiting. Is he going to come? Maybe Danny was thinking the same, and eventually it happened. And then after the game, of course, there's had a little incident with a reporter as well, being accused of being disrespectful ahead of the game, just in terms of style of football. So it just, even stuff like that, it's just added to it, hasn't it? Debate about how one team plays. A lot of Forest Green fans, they've enjoyed some really good football this season. They've seen Lincoln teams in the past, kick it long and be very robust. They've got some strengths, haven't they? I mean, when you've got a striker like John Akinde, I don't really blame him for using his strengths and passing it. But they have got some talented players as well, like Bruno Andron, so they can play a bit of football as well. So it's interesting to see how they'll mix it up at the weekend.
And I believe Anderson's fit again as well, and he's a danger as well. So, like you said, there's lots of strengths in this Lincoln team that now like to play a bit of football.
That's it, yeah. Plenty of strengths, some experienced defenders as well at the back. Jason Shackle, he's played at a lot higher level, but been in the Premier League as well with Burnley. So the experience is there. They've got a lot of ingredients. They're top of the league for a reason. The table doesn't lie, does it? No. So you've got to be able to mix it up. You've got to be able to do different things to be top of the league. So you've got to give them a bit. You've got to give them credit. They've had a very good season. They've lost, I think it's just one game of the last 18 away at Crewe on Boxing Day. Other than that, although they have been drawing quite a few recently. Yeah,
I mean, I think they're nailed on to promotion. Yeah, probably nailed on champions. Do you agree?
Definitely nailed on promotion for me. Yeah, nailed on champions. I don't think that's fair on Bury and Mansfield because they're very good teams, and as Mark Cooper said, Bury were the best team he feels Forest Green have faced. So I think they'll certainly have a say. Yeah, and it'll be difficult for Forest Green to catch them, I think.
Yeah. we go on about spicy ingredients again. It's another spicy one for Scott Lindsay, the assistant manager at Forest Green. He was part of the Lincoln team, actually. I think he was caretaker manager or assistant to Chris Sutton at one stage at Sincil Bank. So it's a huge game for him as well.
Yeah, it will be. You know, often players play down, go into their former clubs, but it's always on the back of your mind, isn't it? And sometimes you might have a point to prove, but in terms of point to prove, I do think Forest Green might have one as well. Obviously losing to Mansfield, not a lot in the game, you know, 1 goal. They had chances as well, Forest Green, but it will hurt because those are the teams they need to be taking points from. It, you know, it would have been a massive, but even a draw would have been a fantastic result against them because Mansfield are a very good side. So really, I do think they need to get something from this game. Another
important thing Saturday is going to be the crowd. I mean, Forest Green fans aren't really the most vocal at times. They're going to need to be with the sort of vociferous support that Lincoln have home and away.
Yeah, I can see it being quite hostile. It was very hostile up there, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Forest Green will need to probably match that. And, you know, at times when that stand's bouncing, it can get going, you know. The players will be boosted by that. And the players will need the fans. The whole club needs, at this stage of the season, the whole club needs to be united because this is March. We're coming into March. One of the most vital months of the season, I think. A lot of managers have said that in the past. Yeah. It really kicks on in March. So this is a vital month, you know, a lot of games to play. So the club needs to be united. Everyone needs to pull together if Forest Green are going to achieve the playoffs and even go on and maybe win promotion.
I mean, we said in the presser to Mark Cooper at the start of the season, would you have accepted where the club are at this current stage? And he said he would have snapped your hands off. Make no bones about it, it's been a great season so far.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to sort of look at the bigger picture, take a back seat and say, you know, at the start of the season, where did you expect to be? I imagine some fans, if you said to them, if you were 10th, 5 points off the playoffs, they'd have taken that as well. So
absolutely, yeah.
Just enjoy the journey, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's not been a sustained bad period. The longest losing run has been 2 games. So that's just everyone. I think everyone's measured. I think everyone's calm here. I don't think anyone's panicking yet. And again, the defeat at Mansfield, good team. Just as long as they bounce back and get a performance, some sort of result on Saturday, this team has a lot of potential.
Yeah, yeah. The good news is as well, fully fit squad.
Expecting Liam Shepherd back, I think
Cooper
said, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's almost like missing 2 players because you lose him, and it's shown in the results that when he's not there, it makes a difference. Not only that, you lose Carl Winchester in midfield. You miss his dynamism, all his runs, his energy. Obviously not a natural right back, so you're effectively losing another midfielder as well. So, you know, having Liam Shepherd back will be massive.
Yeah. Do you see Dale Grubb starting or being part of the squad? I mean, he wasn't in the squad on Saturday.
For me, I think he'd be perfect from the bench, to be honest. If you need a goal,
he's a game changer.
If you're a defender and you're seeing Dale Grubb come on, you're thinking, no, I don't want him running at me.
No.
You know, if you concede a free kick and he's standing over it, you are fearing the worst. I think Junior Mondale, and he scored against Yeovil. I was quite impressed with him, even at Mansfield. You know, he looks quite bright, he looks quite sharp, so I could see him potentially keeping his place. George Williams as well has sort of, I think since Christmas, just grown, hasn't he? So it's going to be difficult for Dale to start, I think.
Yeah. Paul, we're standing here now where Cowley and Cooper will be on Saturday, so just finally, a prediction from you.
Oh, don't. I hate this. It is a tough one to predict. I think Forest, I think they need a result. I don't fear, but it's just, this is not the stage of the season you want to drop out the playoffs, and losing could see.
So spit it out.
1-1.
1-1, okay.
Where have we had that before?
Yeah, every week. I'm going to stick my neck out, and I really fancy a 2-1 to Forest Green. So,
I can't rule that out at all.
No,
They've got it in the locker.
Yeah.
They've got it in the locker.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it from both Paul and myself. Thanks for joining us, and see you soon. Cheers.